Yeah, buddy, welcome back to Dragon in the Afternoon on Styling Radio. Because this ain't KC95.
Nope.
No. Damn, we just lost a lot of listeners. No, we didn't. So,
no, we didn't.
Like, damn, I thought I was listening to KC. But on the break, we were fucking laughing about something. I said, no. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell the story on the radio. So, if anybody's got a security system at their house, most of them nowadays, you can talk through it.
Yes.
So we got the security system at the shop, right? And, well, this story gets kind of complex, but we had this kid that worked for us, and he really was religious. And I couldn't help myself one day. I'm not going to say his name on the air, but I said his name, and he looked around, and I said it again, and he goes, "Who is that?" And I go, This is God." And he goes, "I can hear you clearer now." Yep, I updated. I went to 4.0. 3.8 wasn't working. And I had this fucker convinced for a week. He went around town telling everybody he was mopping the showroom and God talked to him.
Oh, jeez.
And then people started asking me questions, and I was like,
I guess I better stop.
Yeah. So, dude, I did it one day, and I told him, it goes, "You need to bring your boss a tasty beverage." He went to the vending machine, got me a soda. I'm not bullshit. I'm probably going to go to hell.
You are.
But there's a flip side to this, okay? So, my ex had the app on her phone, and she'd fucking follow me around, and we could hear the cameras moving because she wanted to know who I was talking to on the phone. I felt like a zoo animal. So we knew where the blackouts, because we installed the camera equipment, okay? We knew where the blackout spots were. And, but she could hear us, and man, we would talk so much shit about her. I get home, she slammed the dinner table down. "So, did you have an interesting day at work?" "I don't know, did you?" Well, why are you and Curtis going around the corner and I can hear my name?" "Yeah, because you follow us around like fucking zoo animals." And then she would talk through the damn thing. "What are you guys talking about?" And I go, "Get back to work." Like, it pissed me off, man. But how we got on this subject, we were talking about my pugs, my twin pugs. And they, you let them out, and they have to find that perfect place to take a fucking shit.
Oh, I know.
It's so annoying. So, one time, I was watching a movie, and I was right at the end, and they had to go out, and I let them out, and it started raining. I shouldn't tell this on the air. Fucking people are freaking out. Well, I forgot their ass was outside.
Oh, shit. Everybody's done it, though.
Yeah, everybody's done it, And, so, I only had, like, maybe 10 minutes left in this movie. It wasn't long, people. But it started raining. Walked down the hallway. Look over at the living room. And I saw their little faces at the door. Like, what the fuck? Let me in. I felt so bad. They wear little shirts all the time. Or sweaters. And took their sweater off. Had to get a towel and dry them out. And I tried to give them a treat. They didn't want the treat. Then I knew I fucked up. I was like, well.
Yeah.
They sat there crying. "Well, why would you leave me?" Well, it happens. Well, sometimes my neighbors will call me and be like, "Hey, do you know your girls are outside?" And I had this neighbor damn near convinced that they could open the sliding door by themselves. They get on each other's back.
That's funny.
I'm like, fuck no, I'm watching them on the cameras. I can see what they're doing.
Oh.
What are you doing? In my office working at home.
None of your fucking business.
I just look over and I can see what they're doing. I even saw you walk by and pet them. You did? Like, yeah. Her mountain bike got stolen. Who'd she run to before the cops? She called me. Did you get him on camera? I don't know. I gotta look. Damn right I got him on camera, but I may or may not have told her. I can't remember. Somebody stole my mountain bike. Well, if you just leave it out there for people to look like, to get a ride, but yeah, but guys, mountain bike season is coming up right around the corner. I do got my bike set up on the stand so I can use it. I tried to ride over the weekend. That was about 5 minutes, and I was like, I'm done. I think if I would have shifted in a lower gear, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Right.
But I've also realized it's cold as fuck outside. The heat's turned up, and I'm sweating my fucking ass off. So, and of course, I was watching the St. Louis news, and it's like, who got shot today, It's like, if it bleeds, it leads. And, that's the problem, man. You listen to the news nowadays, and it's so fucking depressing.
Yep.
Give me some.
Listen to it most of the time.
Yeah, but there is a TikTok channel, and I think they're on YouTube, The Good News.
Oh, yeah?
And they only talk about good news. But that's like U.S. wide. So there's so much bad in this country that's on public news. You watch good news, and that's like 2%. They probably have to work their ass off to get some good news.
No, I'm sure.
Fucking crazy. I seen a thing a couple years ago. It was on this group that I'm in, and it shows historic stuff in St. Louis. And somebody had the news from 1952. Like, I don't know how they got a recording of it or how they did it. I mean, I really don't know. There was a fuck ton of comments, though. But the news was so different.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. They didn't talk about motherfuckers getting drugged down the street and shot and fucking all this other shit. So, yeah. Yeah, they had that one from 52, and they had from 68 when they put the arch together and they put the final piece in.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. But they had the whole news episode, commercials and everything. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
I watched a movie late at night one night. I woke up, and there was a show about them putting the arch together.
Oh, yeah. I think they've got several documentaries on it. Yeah, it was
like
engineering feat.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I ended up sitting there watching the whole damn thing that night. Like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and what's interesting is the arch is actually crooked, but nobody knows it.
Oh, yeah?
Because one side, they had an issue hitting bedrock. And so, if you pulled the arch out of the ground like a horseshoe and you set it down, it's actually crooked because one side's got more pieces than the other. Because of the bedrock. The bedrock went down at an angle, so... But no, the arch is a hell of a... If you've ever been to St. Louis and took a ride up in the arch, man, it's pretty damn... It's pretty cool. I like the museum that they got there, that they talk about, and they show what St. Louis was like before the arch. With the steamboats. We used to have steamboat races, man.
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands of people would show up for that shit, and they're only going like 8 miles an hour,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's not like us going to a drag racing event and fucking,
It's like, hey, there they go.
No,
they're going. Seriously, they're going.
Yeah, he's ahead. He's ahead. I think it'd be cool to go back in time and see some of that stuff when it was just simpler,
Yeah.
We're too fast paced nowadays. We rely on our phones and technology and
yes.
Social media was the Post-Dispatch. If you want to know what's going on, you just read the fucking newspaper.
Yep.
Yeah, people don't read nowadays. They just visualize.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, like, when people were telling... Okay, listen here, listeners. When I had analysts telling me with my business that people were going to 3-second videos,
Uh-huh.
3 to 10 second videos. I'm like, how could you even get your message out?
Right.
But lo and behold, fucking you watch TikTok and it's true. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the attention span nowadays of people are up to 12 seconds.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. It's crazy that is how our society is. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. You live your life about 20 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking crazy. But, you know, something else, if I could go back in time, there's a couple things in St. Louis that I'd like to see. The Gaslight District, when they had all the, you know, the gas lights, you know, and they had all those clubs and all that back then.
Right.
I think that would be really cool to see. There's a pool, a natural spring pool that is down by the art park. That's way, I mean, you got to fucking hunt for this thing, but me and Michelle found it. It had square chain.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have seen that place in its heyday. And these diving boards, I'm telling you, are like 60, 70 feet up.
I'd like to have went back into when the Lentz still owned the brewery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, back when they had the underground shit, you know, the caves and all that.
Pool underground and that theater under there.
Yep.
That was some cool shit back in the day.
Now, every now and then, and it's expensive. It's like $2,000 or $2,500. Every now and then, they'll gather enough people up and they'll have a tour of it. And, yeah, I've seen videos of it. I know that the St. Louis Underground of what the Lemp Brewery had is unfucking real.
Yeah.
And you can watch the videos, but you can't visualize in the video how big these caverns are under St. Louis.
Yeah.
You know?
They're huge.
Yeah, if we ever have a real good earthquake, we're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, it's all going to collapse into that shit. There's something else in St. Louis. Well, of course, I would love to go back in time to the World's Fair.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people would like that. But, you know...
St. Louis and Chicago, they'd both be cool.
Oh, that would be really cool, the Chicago World Fair.
Yup.
You know, something else I would like to see, if I could go back in time, is right as United States bought, you know, the West Coast.
Right.
I would like to have seen how it really was in the settler days.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there was Indians scalping people and all this other shit, but, you know, I'd like to have seen what Lewis and Clark seen.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, there's a lot of shit. I'd like to go back and see 1950s, early 60s drag racing.
Oh, yeah.
You know? That was back when there was no fucking rules. You know, it was like, people were dying, you know? Now, it's not that I want to see people dying, it's just, you know, they were running aviation fuel and all kinds of weird shit.
And they were making those dragsters out of fucking
swing
gas
sets.
pipe and everything else.
Yes,
yeah.
Swing sets and gas pipe, and like, I'd like to see that, you know?
The rear ends didn't even have suspension. They were just solid axles.
Oh, yeah.
And you sat with your legs on one side of the axle and your butt on the other side.
Yep.
And the fucking drive shaft was between your legs. It's like, nope.
Yep. And there was no bulletproof. Nowadays, we got all this Kevlar and bulletproof stuff on the slingshot dragsters.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any of that. That fucking joint was going right between your balls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Don Garlits changed that shit when he got blown in half, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, there's stuff that, you know, listeners, think about it. Is there stuff where you live or what country you're in? And, you know, you ever just take just 5 minutes and be like, man, if I could go back in time. It's not that I want to go back in time and see dinosaurs.
No.
You know? But I'd like to go back in time and there's certain stuff I'd like to see, you know?
Right.
Especially stuff around Missouri, you know?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my dad took me down where the train tracks were down in southern Missouri where Jesse James would rob trains.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they had removed the tracks, but you could tell where they were. And then
That's cool.
when he was a kid, the tracks were still there, and you could see the paths that they would take with the horses to come and, rob them.
Mm-hmm.
And them old timers knew all that shit. Now, these
yeah.
fucking kids, they don't know shit about it, except
Nope.
we ride our 4-wheeler side by side down it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of. I'm a big history guy. I like history.
Yeah, I am too.
I remember East St. Louis. I was born in 75. Drugs come in there in the 70s, and it just went to shit. But I remember being in East St. Louis when I was like probably 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing the beautiful marble-faced buildings and stuff, and houses.
Oh, yeah.
And I drive down there sometimes, and I'm like, I remember that place. Now it's all burnt out, and it's cracked out. I drove.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
I saw a video that a guy drove around East St. Louis and was showing what it used to look like compared to today. And that one building, they blocked off the street, and just pieces are falling off of it, and they don't have money to tear it down.
Yeah.
And
isn't that insane?
Yeah, and I was, of course, I was hunting for Get Tuned, those die-cast cars. So I went over to Fairview and hit a couple targets, but on the way back, I was like, I wonder if I could see that building, because they say it's the biggest building in East St. Louis, and I know that building, but can I see it from the highway? And you can. And you could just see where it's just falling in, it's just like,
right.
Damn, I mean, and East St. Louis can't come up with money to tear that motherfucker down.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I mean, there's a lot of buildings in East St. Louis, and they've been doing a good job of,
not even just in East St. Louis, right there along 70. There used to be several buildings you could see from 70.
Yeah, you're right.
There's that old church that has no roof in it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's that one building. There's a building on the east side of the road. It's like a 3-story big old apartment building or something. It's vacant and falling down. No windows in it anymore. And
yeah. And the people who own it, they're in Florida or something, and they own back taxes. And, it's like, I'm into preserving shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
exactly.
That building in East St. Louis, you can't save it. It's too far gone. It's structural messed up.
Right.
But, you can't come up with enough money to tear it down. I mean, hell, you can recycle the brick and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm,
But no,
exactly.
that would require a little bit of money and work that we ain't got. Hell, East St. Louis ain't got no goddamn stop signs. They can't afford them.
That ain't no shit.
That is true.
They've been stolen.
Or they've been stolen. Yeah, I remember the mayor saying, we bought all these new signs and someone done stole them. Like, who the fuck's selling fucking stop signs?
Don't look at my garage, no.
Yeah, don't look at my garage, Yeah, I remember my rat rod, we had all these signs.
Yeah, for the floor.
For the floor and the doors. And
yep.
Yeah, I skinned the roof with it. But what's crazy about it is these were real steel ones. You could weld on them. Then they went to aluminum. Well, those aren't the best. You know what I'm saying? But they make some nice flooring, though.
They do.
You can just pop ribbon that shit right together.
Nice light flooring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. That's for sure.
No, they don't.
What I think's funny is you go out to Arizona and you see these aluminum signs that I've never understood. And you see them shot, but they're rusted.
Yeah.
But how are they aluminum? But I think what it is, it's a coating that they would do on it, and it had lead in it. But then again, lead don't rust. But somehow with this aluminum, so some of you listeners know what I'm talking about. You see these signs and you're like, how's that rusting?
Yeah.
What did they coat this thing with,
Right.
So, but yeah, on that note, guys, remember the past. Stop tearing down monuments and stuff.
Yes.
Shit. Unless you're going to pawn that shit or something, Hey, I got this Abe Lincoln statue. It's been in the family for years. $50? No, man, give me 100. you know. But
Wasn't that on the corner of 5th and Jackson last week?
no.
No. That must have been gone for a long time.
No. This was the one they made before that one. This was the first one. It's been in my family.
That one replaced this one. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna give me 50. I know what it's worth. I know what I got.
I gotta have at least 70.
Yeah. I'll settle for 65.
Okay, 2 packs of cigarettes.
65 and 2 packs of smokes.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's just, you know, you can't, if you don't remember the past, people, how can you move and go forward?
Exactly.
So that's my message for today. These DJs are ready to pump up the jam and put it in your ear. And you guys have a safe drive home today. You guys be safe. Get home, hug the one you love.
Exactly.
You know. And we'll be seeing you tomorrow. This is Dragon in the Afternoon with Izzy.
And Jimmy.
And we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Keep it styling.